My Hero Academia. Top 10 strongest characters in My Hero Academia ranked. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified when we drop our amazing videos. Let us know any suggestions you may think of. Leave your comment below. My Hero Academia is full of powerful heroes and villains, but these are some of the strongest characters in the entire series. With the sudden appearance of quirks, the world of My Hero Academia quickly began filling with mighty and almost godly characters. Throughout the years, we have seen the enormous power that many of the cast members of Horikoshi's best-selling manga possess. While there are many heroes and villains who deserve our respect for their strength, determination, and skills, there are some individuals who hold power beyond anyone's imagination. From virtually immortal beings with an arsenal of quirks to heroes with the stored power of several generations, below we will discuss the most powerful characters in the show. 10. Toya Todoroki. Also known as the villain Dabi, Toya has what is perhaps the most powerful fire-based quirk in the show. His power, Blue Flame, allows him to produce and control extremely hot and dangerous flames, which can melt almost anything they touch. Sadly, Dabi's body is incapable of withstanding the elevated temperatures produced by his flames. This has caused his body to be continuously burnt, leaving him scared and damaged beyond repair. While his ability is extremely powerful, the drawbacks of it make it almost impossible to use without causing Toya damage. 9. Bakugo Katsuki. Bakugo's quirk is as simple as it is powerful. His ability, Explosion, turns his sweat into a nitroglycerin-based liquid, which he can ignite by creating small sparks from his hands. The range, power, and direction of the explosion depend on the amount of sweat Bakugo uses. He can create small bursts that can simply burn a piece of clothing, as well as massive explosions that can level entire buildings. As of late in the manga, Bakugo is one of the few characters who could damage Shigaraki, all for one in an amazing demonstration of his abilities. Sadly, his ability takes a high toll on his body, leaving him sore and unable to move after using it for extended periods. 8. Rumi Usagiyama. Mirko, the rabbit hero, is one of the most intrepid, fearless, and strong women in the world of My Hero Academia. Her quirks, Rabbit, gives Rumi the physical appearance and traits of a rabbit. Due to this, her legs are extremely strong, to the point that they can break concrete or bend steel. We have seen Mirko use her legs to take down several high-end Nomus at the same time, never losing her smile while she did it. Unfortunately for Rumi, she does not have many defensive capabilities. During the fight against the Nomus, she lost a leg after being overpowered by the monstrous creature, dampening her strength and mobility. 7. Enji Todoroki. The title of number 1 hero is not given to just anyone in Hero Society. Endeavor, the best current hero in the series, is more than deserving of such an honorific, at least when it comes to power. His quirk, Inferno, gives Enji the ability to produce and control any kind of fire. This incredible power, in addition to the decades of experience under his belt, has turned Endeavor into a honed warrior who is willing to go to any lengths to prove his worth. Nonetheless, Enji's quirk is not flawless, as overusing it causes Endeavor to overheat and faint. 6. Gigantimakia. While My Hero Academia has proven that size has nothing to do with true power, there is no doubt that Gigantimakia's power comes mainly from his massive height. This gigantic man is as tall as a 3-story building, with strength equally big. We have seen Gigantimakia destroy entire blocks by simply walking. Several heroes had to band together to incapacitate this enormous villain. Fortunately for the heroes, Gigantimakia only becomes active when either All for One or Shigaraki orders him to, which means he is not a threat under any other circumstances. 5. Star and Stripe. Kathleen Bate used to be the United States of America's number 1 hero. She more than deserved this title, not only due to her overwhelming power but also because of her heroic heart and selfless nature. Her ability, called New Order, allowed her to control reality itself to change the rules that affected an individual or object. She could use her quirk to give herself super strength or even change the nature of lasers so she could control them at will. Sadly, her fight against Shigaraki proved she was not as powerful as Shigaraki, all for one, as the villain defeated her. 4. All for One, Prime. For centuries, Japan's criminal world was ruled by a single man, the cruel and megalomaniac All for One. Born with the ability to take powers from others, use them for himself, or give them to others, All for One grew up to be a power-hungry man with delusions of grandeur. Over the years, All for One has acquired many quirks, from regenerative abilities to formidable offensive skills, like the ability to change his body into weapons. In his prime, All for One was the ultimate villain, but he was not unbeatable, as All Might defeated him after an intense battle. 3. Yagi Toshinori, Prime. All Might is the only individual in My Hero Academia to have been renowned as the symbol of peace. His former quirk, One for All, is the only power in the show that can be passed down from generation to generation, storing the power of its previous users inside. Thanks to this stored power, All Might became an unstoppable force during his time as a hero. With a single punch, All Might could defeat entire armies of villains, change the weather, or level entire cities. Tragically, his power began diminishing after his fight with All for One, in which he was severely wounded. 2. Izuku Midoriya. Despite being born as a quirkless individual, Izuku has become one of the most powerful individuals in history. After his fateful encounter with All Might, Deku was acknowledged as worthy of inheriting the hero's quirk. Surprisingly, One for All evolved when Izuku inherited it, allowing the boy to gain access to all the previous abilities of the former users and turning him into a skilled, smart, and passionate warrior. Thanks to this, Deku now has 6 different powers, each several times more powerful than they were before. He is the only one who can face the fusion of Shigaraki and All for One, who sadly still appears to have the upper hand in their fight. 1. Tamura Shigaraki, All for One. After the defeat of All for One during his final fight against All Might, the villain arranged for Tamura Shigaraki to take his place as the symbol of evil. However, the villain never intended to give Shigaraki his power. Instead, he wanted the young man to become his new vessel. He accomplished this by subjecting Tamura to a surgical procedure that turned his body into the ultimate weapon. During this process, All for One's consciousness was implanted into Shigaraki's brain. This resulted in an amalgamation of the two, fighting for control while using their new destructive powers to end hero society. As of now, no one has been able to defeat this imposing and terrifying villain, who is several times more powerful than All for One or Shigaraki ever was. That's all we have for you today. What do you think about our video? Let us know on the comments section down below, and don't forget to subscribe, like and hit the share button.